on this edition of Cars and Coffee Exposed. It's a moose, a snake, and a bully.
With Brian Chayton. Brian has a super rare 19 Mustang Shelby Super Snake, and we're just so excited for you to tell us a little bit more about it. I mean, we know it's rare, but like how rare is it?
Well, thank you for asking. I would say that it's rare of 98 per year. So it's one of 98.
One of 98.
Per year.
So why this car? What inspired you to purchase this vehicle?
Oh, well, I believe it's every little boy's dream to have a bright Hot Wheels looking type car.
Yeah.
And, the right deal at the right time came along, and I had to do it.
So is it like everything that you've wanted and dreamed on four wheels and a chassis? Everything that you've aspired for?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, it's 110%.
So why are you selling it?
Well, it's maybe time to move on, or maybe time to keep it.
Do we have bigger dreams?
We do, and if the right deal comes along, you know, try not to get too attached, but if the right deal doesn't, I have no problem holding on to it for a long time.
Wow. So Brian, tell us about this car. Tell us, what are the stats? How fast does it go? What does it do?
Well, how fast it goes, I would have no idea. But I'll tell you that it's got a big supercharger on it. It's rated at 825 at the crank. I haven't had it dynoed yet, but she's a beast. But she's also very tame. You know, just around the city, if you keep it out of boost, she drives very well. It's a 6-speed manual, which is pretty rare to find these days. So holding on to the stick shift.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just it's a joyful car to drive. It's a lot of power, it's really refined, and it gets a lot of attention.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, we're excited. We want to tell the people about you having this vehicle for sale, so maybe you'll find a lucky viewer that'll take it off your hands. And we congratulate you on bigger and better dreams and moving on. And thanks for sharing your story with us.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Alright, we ready? Yep. Okay. What's your name and where are you from?
Eduardo, and I'm from Mexico City. I have this bus for like 3 years, and I restore it, you know, little by little. So that's why I have my bus. It's a 65 year, and they have the 2275 engine on it. I have to drive into Maryland like 10 hours, just driving back. Man, you know, when I see it, I jump on it, and that feels like a toy. You know, I'm like kind of scared. This is not a car. But when I jump in and fixing it, I mean, a lot of people love it. Yeah, I can drive in like 80 miles an hour with this one now. Yeah, that's like decoration. The paint. I have to put the windows, you know, safari windows, seats, you know, transmission, tires, everything. Pretty much do everything. Yeah, I lure the boss too. Yeah. Then meet people, see new cars, you know, a lot of different kind of cars. That's kind of enjoy it.
DJ, this C10, it's an 82. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty flawless.
Yeah, it's hard to find one with good body lines and gas and all that.
Yeah. So how did you do this?
So this truck was actually my dad's. He bought it probably in January, and Lucas Fab built the whole truck in Columbus, Georgia. So he bought it. He had a bunch of Camaros, old school Camaros, so he wanted something turnkey, ready to drive. So when he bought it, fell in love with it, got away from all the carb stuff, you know, flashy wheels, all that good stuff, LS, turnkey, drive it anywhere you want to. So he fell in love with it, and so did I. So
absolutely.
Yep.
It's like almost impossible to find. So you really didn't have that much build time involved in it. You kind of, So you told me before the camera started rolling that this is sentimental, so I'm afraid to ask, but please tell us the story.
We're here for Dad today. He passed 2 months ago, so we're here for Dad.
I love Dad.
He loved the attention and everything else, so had to get on Coffee and Cars Exposed.
I'm so glad you did.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about your dad.
He was old school, the ones that you don't find anymore. He was my best friend, and we built cars together, and we did everything together almost. So the last time I was here was actually with him in this truck and my dually that I built. So
wow.
Yep. A little emotional, but he's here with us today.
He is, absolutely. Absolutely. I know he's smiling right now.
Yep.
You are just continuing his legacy and now sharing it with the world, and I love that.
Yep.
So does this get driven?
Yeah, so this is a driver. It's nothing crazy until I did start digging into it and do a little bit more to pep it up. So right now it's just a driver.
I love it.
Yep.
So we're not racing it.
No, not racing it.
Yeah.
Maybe on some street stuff. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
On the street though.
I love it. I love it. So this truck is a reflection of your dad.
Right. Yep.
Classic, old school.
Yep.
Don't make them like that anymore.
Right. Exactly.
I love that. What was your dad's name?
Don.
Don.
Yep.
Don.
I'm a junior, so that's what his name.
Oh.
Yep. So yeah, he wanted to go back old school. He sold his '69 Camaro, and he wanted something new. But I saw him. We went to Savannah, looked at some C10s. When I saw him in a C10, it was like a kid. I seen a kid sitting in the driver's seat, so I was like, we got to find you a C10. So this one came along, and it worked out great. Me and him went so many places in this thing, so many memories.
So DJ, your dad, obviously this was his pride and joy. Is there anything special that you want to tell us about the engine?
Nothing. It's just a 6.0 LS 480 setup out of a 2500. It's got nice valve springs, nothing crazy. LS1 cam, freshly rebuilt, nothing crazy.
Okay.
Stock brakes, all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we said, it's classic.
Hop in and drive anywhere.
I love it.
So.
I love it. DJ, in honor of Don, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We love this truck. It's amazing. And we just wish you the best of luck with everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me do that over again. Here with Jorge, and Jorge, I'm so excited because I'm a Yoda girl, okay? I have an 07 4Runner, right? And people don't realize how these things are monsters, right?
Yeah.
This is what they take on safari, so these things are like...
all around the world.
Yeah, so tell me about it. Where'd you get it from?
Actually, this truck wasn't sold in the US, so I brought it from Spain, Europe, in 2018 before the pandemic. I was lucky enough to bring it without any issue on the border or anything, so I was able to pick it up in Miami. I'm bringing it all the way from Miami to Tennessee. I raised her in 2018 and I've been having it since then.
Wow, so this came all the way from Spain to Miami to now here in Knoxville. And was it something that you always wanted, this car?
Yeah, I actually dreamed for this truck since I was a teenager. Before going to college and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I always wanted to have one, and I got the opportunity once I moved here to the U.S.
Have you done any modifications to it?
Yeah, actually, when I bought it was totally stock. I did all the modifications, installed suspension, armor, roll cage, roof rack, all the stuff for going off-road.
Have you needed the roll cage yet?
Yeah, it's been really helpful. Like what I mean, I want to be safe.
Yeah, absolutely. So you take it off-road all the time. Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. You got a family you lug around in it?
We have a few groups in town that we partner sometimes, and we take some schedule to go every month. So it's been fun, and being able to meet new people around the city.
I love it, and that's what this is all about, cars and coffee. And how many miles you got on it now?
Right now, it's have 180,000 miles.
You can get...
Oh yeah, plenty. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lifer right there.
It's a turbo diesel, 4-cylinder, 2.4 liters. Pretty small engine, but for being diesel, it's pretty powerful.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And going off-road, it goes anywhere.
Anywhere. I love it. Thank you so much, Jorge. Anything else you want to give us? Anything that makes this just special for you?
Yeah, well, I wanted to have it since I was a little kid, so I'm able to share this truck with my dad all the time. Yeah. Whenever we go off-road, I invite him, and he comes with me. Sometimes he drives. So it's plenty of fun to have it.
It's a family thing. I love it. I love it. Well, congratulations
on
owning your dream car.
Thank you.
And thanks for taking the time out to speak with us.
Yeah.
My name is Scott Preston, and I live in Valdez, North Carolina. This is actually my second time here. I was here for the spring event and was invited back to come. I'm usually over on Veterans Row. The first time I was here, I just randomly popped over here, met a guy by the name of Keith Kriegel, and he does the setup for Veterans Row over there. And during that time, Damien actually saw the car and asked me to come back, and he wanted to do a feature and that kind of stuff. I served in the Air Force and the Army. I served a total of 18 years. On my car, on the front of the car, you'll see 3 people pictured. The 2 up top were buddies of mine that we all deployed together. They were lost to combat. Due to my injuries, I was medically retired in February of 16. There's a guy on the nose cone that committed suicide April of 2019. In those 3 years, I lost 5 people to suicide. And that's ultimately what started this project and started the nonprofit from that. And he's on the nose cone because that is the driving force of what I'm doing. Our mission is to, A, make sure that people understand that it's okay to not be okay, and talking about suicide and mental health should be part of everyday conversation. And it takes a whole lot more courage to ask for help than it does to avoid the situation. And B, I want to be able to bring the education that I've gotten in all my years of service. I want to bring that education to the general public, because if I can teach the general public how to recognize the signs that someone may be suicidal and how to help, that's another set of eyes looking out for me. You can never truly know what a military service member goes through unless you've actually lived it. Even if the service member never deployed, it's still all the training, all the things that go into it. Your bodies are beat up. the trauma just involved in going to field exercises and that kind of thing takes a number on your body. And when we get out, we lose all that camaraderie between our buddies. And in the civilian world, it's very difficult for us to connect because we've spent so long in a box. I've been through countless hours of therapy, and I've learned many different techniques on how to help, and just for myself, in other words, meditation and breathing and all these different things, because I suffer with suicidal thoughts every single day of my life. But in all the therapy that I've ever had, the best therapy that I've come across is that car. Even if I'm not at an event and talking to people about the car and talking to people about suicide and mental health, if I'm struggling and I wake up and I'm having a bad day, I can walk outside, I can start cleaning on my car, I can go for a drive, and that fixes my brain and gets me set for the next day. And I know that I'm gonna come up to a show next weekend and I'll be able to talk to people and help people. And that's the best therapy I've ever had. It is a 2019 Corvette CR1. And when Lynn Salmi committed suicide, April of 2019, all the cars were sold out at that point. And even the dealerships that bought extra, those were sold out. So it took me a month to find the car and make arrangements to pick it up. And then during that month, I contacted the families to let them know what I was about to do. I downloaded all the images and found everything that I wanted, and I had a stack of papers, a foot high. And I showed up down in Georgia, picked up the car, drove home, and it's a 7-hour drive from me. During that 7 hours, I interviewed 30 airbrush artists over the phone. And ultimately, the guy that I settled on lives 45 minutes from me. They can check out the website. They can get involved that way. We do have a way to donate. We also have merchandise, t-shirts and bracelets. But if somebody truly wants to come out and help, which we're always looking for help, they can come out to events with us, or if they have a show car of their own that they want to fix up and modify to rides against suicide, they can go to car shows on their own. All I would ask is that if they don't know how to talk to people about suicide and mental health, that they educate themselves on that process, because all it takes is one wrong word or a misstep when you're talking to somebody about such a sensitive subject, and that could lead to a disaster.
Promotional consideration paid for by Crush Customs for your ultimate car crush.
Like this show? Want more? Then head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.